Gonna do 3 coins price analysis. Simple, really. Hi everyone, welcome to the channel and the video. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell button, leave a like. Carpet's fitted. My audio should sound a little bit better. I've not got it fully soundproofed yet or furnished, so there maybe is still a bounce of echo. Anyways, I'm currently in a very simple chain link trade. Lovely. However, today's video, on a Saturday, I wanted to talk about 3 coins randomly. Just some price analysis. I've asked people to give me suggestions. I went through them, I had a little look, and I've picked a few out of them. Because why not? And we're going to start off with the first one. And it's one that I've not talked about for a long time. And a lot of people are commenting on this one. And it's Elrond. Why? Because it's done some great moves. I've not charted this in a long time. And as you can see, the structure looks pretty damn neat and tidy. So we may be looking at some profit taking, some reaccumulation, and some further growth potentially. So we'll talk about this one first. I'm going to mainly talk about the USD pairs on this video, not the BTC pair, just for ease and simplicity, just so you know. But if you've not yet done so, make sure you do check out the Patreon. I have just put in a new lesson today about portfolio management. Tomorrow or the next day, maybe some more lessons and some more publications, but I'm looking to do some content around the basics of how to survive in this market that you may not have seen yet anyways. So the first thing I want to do before I do anything realistically is look at this. We are currently resting on the 618 on this whole entire structure point, right? So going from this higher time frame point, we'll go to the 3-day. There we go. So you can see it. That's it. It's as simple as that, right? We cannot go any kind of simpler as to know that this is a high point, this is the low, and we're off. How do I trade? You're probably wondering. Well, I use structure. I look for the obvious. The obvious kind of entry point in terms of any time frame is a pullback. We've had a pullback recently, as you've probably noticed, from this point down to this point, and we popped off like a rocket, right? That's good. That would indicate flow, and the flow is an obvious uptrend. Now, even looking at this, we've got this level here, which is a monster. It's hit a level of support and resistance, which you could probably, figure out from the past here, this level here, where you go all the way across, and it looks rather boring, but it's been front run quite a little bit. So if you go a little bit higher with this, you got all this structure here, and you got that wick there, this wick here, and you've obviously hit a point. If you want to go a little bit deeper, just to kind of put a point out there, you can look at the Fibonacci if you so wish to. Not everyone agrees with the Fibonacci, but I don't care. This is when, in my opinion, probably to the 786 level. I don't have the 786 on my chart. I don't tend to use it. But it has hit a level. But it never actually, it closed the 2 days below that 618 level, but it also hit a level demand a little bit lower. So probably people were getting a little bit panicky, but it had took off from that point. As you've probably noticed anyways, we've rocketed. We've done well. So now we've got to find out where we're going next. Now, in my opinion, if we're going to look, I'll remove that yellow line so it doesn't distort you. If we're going to look from this low point to this correction, we literally went down almost to the, the 382. But if you look left, there's a lot of information and a lot of kind of data gathering of wicks in and around the February level. Where we're going to go next? Well, you can already see it. And by the way, if you're wondering, a lot of my analysis is fresh. I just do it as it comes, and that is hit the level that I want it to hit. That would indicate that you shouldn't be buying right now. You should be waiting for the next pullback, which we are currently, in my opinion, in. Again, this is not financial advice. I'm just stating the obvious. We've hit a level from that move, and if you were, taking a trade around this point, around this level here, where it had pulled back quite aggressively over the period of a few days. So let's have a little look at that. From the high to the low, we pulled back 20%. Quite a big move. And we've obviously pumped much higher, and we've created a new high. So in a bull market, a bull trend, this is a great opportunity to potentially look at an entry. So what we're going to do now, well, we're going to go back a step, remove that fib, and we're going to go from this point. Why? Because this is a level of support. It's a starting point, and this is the obvious top here, right? We can't go any deeper than that because there's no point. And what we're going to look for, we're going to see where things can go. And already I've got a feeling, just a little feeling, that $163 level is going to be somewhat important on that daily time frame. If I look all the way across to that level as well, just highlight it, that whole region You've got multiple wick taps and support and resistance all the way through, and then you've got resistance, resistance, and then boom. That is going to be a very, very key level. Not to mention the fact that we are resting on the 618 level of the overall structure. That's huge, right? Cool. Yeah, happy days. You with me? Cool, happy days. Now, where can we go from here? Well, very, very close to an all-time high retest. Simple as that. We could be looking at a potential move to the upside from this point. We could go lower, obviously, but at the same time, if we've got good level of demand in and around this region, the next point would be $222 or maybe $200 from this point. There we go. That's our run pretty much boxed off and ticked. However, what I will say is this, just one closing thought. Going from this overall structure to that point and into that level, it's a much bigger move, by the way. So if you were trading this, by the way, and as I say, the confluence point, they are still on par with this level. So if you were in on this and you were looking to maybe get out a little bit later, you can still keep that natural point of exit there. Cool. Hope you enjoyed that one. That was quite flash. I'll leave that on there. Anyways, next one. I've not spoken about this. I don't know when the last time I spoke about this coin was. Whether I get a good chart or not, I don't know. Let's have a little look. We've got not the greatest. Bear with me. This is showing you how raw my footage actually is, because I'm not even set up. Yeah, Verasity. Never talked about this one for a while. There we go. Tether. That's better. Haha. Cool. Right. Monster run. Monster pullback. Monster run again. Right. Simple top and bottom. Now, I feel we've hit a resistance point at some point over this point here. Boom. Pull back. Well, we are probably going to be hitting a level pretty soon, and I feel it will be that all-time high level. Whether it does or not is another thing. It's a questionable act because of where it is. It had a big run, so it may happen sooner rather than later, but at the same time, you've always got to think, well, what if it doesn't? Because everything that grows, a bit of gravity will take part and it will probably pull back. This is a big move, so expect it to pull back first, in my opinion anyways. It's having a good few weeks. Now, I'll leave it on there as normal. Now, the first point is obviously this. In my opinion, we're going to go from the bottom to this level and we hit the 382 on the tit, literally on the nose. Look at it. Boom. Fuck off. And look at where we've hit, the 0.2.7. As always, it's a really, really trusty negative number. If you've not yet got that on your chart, again, go to Learning Crypto. You'll find a load of courses and belt-fed content on the premium side of it, talking about this every single day pretty much, about Fibonacci and why they're so important. Why is this important though? You're probably asking because if you look left, you've had levels of structure in and around this region. Wick, 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 in and around. And I'm kind of a body closure. So it's going to be a strong level anyways. So if I was an investing man, I wouldn't be buying this just yet because I don't see the point of it. Why? It's a resistance level. Sometimes if it goes higher, just let it go. Just let it go and walk away because sometimes you will get wrecked. Moving down the tree though, we need to go to the next point. Go from this point, and I'm going to basically state that that is a top. Yes, it hasn't fully closed yet, I know, but we need to see where things could go. And already this level is of interest because it's in the 382 point. Again, if you don't agree with me, I don't care. This is going to be a strong level because of the confluence of all these rejections from the past. Rejections are always good to show a sign of support. Doesn't matter what they are. If you've been rejected there multiple times, the chances are you're going to bounce off it or fly off it at some point. So that could be a next level, for this asset alone. We've also got to look at where the 0.27, sorry, is where this, overall top point is. So the next move could actually be all-time high, potentially from this point. And if that is a correction, remember the words, we may well be looking at a boom cycle from this point here, which could be quite good. However, we could also go much higher, and that higher point is the there's 618, and then maybe even further extensions up there, but we won't want to confuse with those. So that could be the next move, very, very simply, at the end of the day. Whether it happens or not, I don't know. I don't know much about this asset. I'm just covering it because people have asked. If you are a part of this coin, let me know. I don't know much about it, but it's doing a very, very strong parabolic run. It is in a bull cycle. It is in a bull trend. It's looking very, very healthy. So chances are it will correct. People will buy the dip and it'll probably go even higher. That's usually what happens in these sort of markets. So keep an eye on it. Anyways, that's that one done. The last one, you probably already guessed, was Solana. Now, actually, I've got this on my watch list, I think, somewhere. Have I? Let me have a little look. Go to the list. I need to add more to my list. I covered this a few weeks back, and I think I might have the analysis. Fucking hell. The bits on the chart, right? And I do. There we go. So we've flown right past the levels of interest. Flew right through it, right? I might as well just start again because it flew. And I talked about it. I did the BTC pair as well. I don't have that on there, but I talked about it and I said to buy the dip, we're going to go to like $112. And I was like, right on the nose, boom. And it went boom, all the way up to where we are right now. So this is parabolic, absolutely turbo, right? We are looking at this now. So if I go from this low point to this correction, that is where we are. That is what has happened. And I don't want to go too deep in this because we're in price discovery mode. There's no point. So in terms of this, analysis-wise, would be if you were buying below, so basically if you were buying this below $40 and you've not taken anything off the table, you should probably do so, just in case something happens, just in case. Because you don't want to be that person that was like, oh, I wish I did that. If I'm looking at this, high to low point, that is where we are. It's crazy. Go to the log scale, we're way beyond that point. It's crazy. So this is a monumental run. If it does pull back, by the way, boys and girls, from this low, obviously the high, we could fall back quite a lot. I don't think we will go from that point, though. I'll probably go from this point, personally. So yeah, expect a pullback at least, in my opinion, in the next coming days. Nothing goes up forever. It really doesn't. You got to be careful. So yeah, not the greatest analysis in the world, but it's basically a tool to say, well, you should be looking at potentially taking profits because this is parabolic. Yeah, it could go higher, obviously. But if you've got multiple gains here on a very, very quick scale, which it would be a quick scale from this. If you bought in August, for example, at the start of August, yeah, you should be absolutely flush. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, let me know. Subscribe, bell button, leave a like, and enjoy the weekend.